Hello friend, how are you? Welcome to Tilpan Study Center. Today we are doing most important chapter of history. What is the topic today?
Challenge to the Mughal rules is a conflict and the negotiation. There is the most important here according to the Mughal Empire. Under Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire reached its greatest territorial limits and it is cover almost the whole of present day of India. But its design was marred by the popular revolt of their Jats, Satamins, and the Afghans, Sikh, and the Marathas. The Rajput emerged as an important support base of Mughal under the Akbar. And later on the under Jahangir and the Shahjahan, however under Aurangzeb, they started to the feeling is alienated and they gradually lost their position of administrative setup. The Marathas posed a major challenge to be a sovereignty of their Mughal under Aurangzeb. The Deccan start put up a stark resistance against the Mughal expansion plan. The northwest is a frontier and the resistance was also terrible as a support and the Mughal had to be suppressed to the disturbance and there is a notice that is a post of the establishment and expansion of the Mughal empire to the Mughal face resistance and had to be negotiated. There is a wall through the divorces is a mean to the struggle and there is a will be provided to the very discussion on all this issue. The first year Rajput. The Rajput here, the Mewars was the only reason is the Rajputana had that had not is a comes is under the Mughals drive to the Akbar at the time. Jahangir followed a persistence policy to capture it. After a series of conflicts, Rana Amar Singh finally agreed to accept of Mughal sovereignty. All the territories taken from the Mewar, including to the fort of the Chittor, whereas returning to the Rana Amar Singh and there subsequently a Jagir was the granted to his son as a Karan Singh. During the reign of the Jahangir and the Shahjahan, the Rajput generally are continued to the friendly with the Mughals and held very high the mansabs. Shahjahan is relied upon the Rajput soldier from to the companions and the Deccan their northern west. During the reign of the Aurangzeb, the Mughal relation with the Rajput suffered to the particularly over to the issue of the succession to their throne into the Marwar. Aurangzeb has an interference in the succession at a depth and his the support to the reverse candidate is antagonized to the Rajput. His occupation of the Jodhpur further put a dent on the Mughal-Rajput relation and the Rajput gradually got alienated from to Mughal rule. In fact, absence of the powerful Rajput section in the nobility ultimately is provide to the determinantal of the Mughal control of the peripheral area, especially when it comes to the negotiation meetings with the Marathas. The next year, Deccan. During the last year of Akbar and the earlier year of Jahangir, the Ahmednagar under to the Malik Ambar is started to the challenging to Mughal power. The Malik Ambar is succeed in the getting a support to the Bazapur also. A number of expeditions were sent by the Jahangir but failed to be achieved any success. During the Shahjahan is resigned, the Mughal confessed with the Deccan kingdom and Ahmednagar. Bijapur and Golconda was received. The Ahmednagar was first to be defeated and the most of its territory were annexed into the Mughal Empire. By 1636, Bijapur and Golconda were also defeated, but these kingdoms were not annexed to the Mughal Empire. After their defeated rulers were pay of annual tribute and recognize a Mughal authority. For almost 10 years, Shahjahan is captured his son Aurangzeb in the region. During the Aurangzeb is resigned to the struggle with the Deccan start to the Marathas become more intensive. And in fact, Aurangzeb spent the last 20 years of his reign in the Deccan fighting against them. By 687, the Deccan's kingdom of Bijapur and Golconda were annexed to the Mughal Empire. However, the time and money spent in the Deccan by the Aurangzeb proved a great drain to the Mughal Empire. And the next year, Marathas challenge. There is the most important here, Maratha challenge. The Maratha emerged in the Deccan is a vital force under Shivaji in the middle of the 17th century and began to challenge the Mughal authorities. Shivaji started his offensive operation in the 6056 and captured the is a principality of Zavil, and after some time Shivaji is raided the Bijapur territory, and in the 1659 the Sultan of Bijapur sent to the general Afzal and raided to the Bijapur territory, and in the 1659 the Sultan of Bijapur sent his general Afzal Khan to the capture of Shivaji, but Shivaji was too clever for him. Afzal Khan and killed him. Ultimately, in the 1662, the Sultan of Bijapur entered into the space of settlement with the Shivaji and acknowledged him as the independent ruler of the conquered territories. Shivaji now began to devastate the Mughal territories. Aurangzeb and sent the Satyendra Khan is a viceroy of the Deccan with a big army against the Shivaji and the territory of Prandhar is 1665. One signed between the two. Out of the 35 forts held by Shivaji, he agreed to the surrender 23 forts to be Mughals. The remaining 12 forts with the annual income on 1 lakh of huns were to be left the Shivaji. Shivaji was asked to pay a visit to the Mughal court at the Agra. But when Shivaji went there, he was ill-treated and taken to the prisoner, and he managed to escape, reaching the Raigad in the 1666. From the onward, we waged a relentless is a struggle against the Mughals. Soon he conquered all the fort which he had surrounded to be a Mughals. In 1670, the plundered of Surat for the second time. In 1674, Shivaji made a Raigad his capital and celebrated his coronation and assumed their title of Chhatrapati. Shortly after this, he made a great expedition into the southern India and conquered Rajinaji, Velar and the many forts of Karnataka. He died at the Raigad in the 1680 after the ruling for the only 6 years. In this short time, they founded the Maratha kingdoms and which dominated western India for a century and a half. Shivaji as a successor was his son Sambhaji. The many Maratha chiefs did not be support of Sambhaji and extended help to the Rajarama and the other son of Shivaji. Shivaji has a two sons, is a Sambhaji and the Rajaram. The son of Shivaji. There is support for the people, there is the Rajaram, but not support for the Sambhaji. The internal conflict began to Maratha power. Finally, Sambhaji was captured and put to death in 1689 by the Aurangzeb. And the Sambhaji was succeeded by the Rajarama, is the son of Shahu, was still young. The Rajaram is died in the 17th century, and he was succeeded by his minor son Shivaji III under to the regency of Tara by his mother. The Tara by his mother, the fellow Aurangzeb against the Maratha was largely due to Tara by as energy and administrative genius. The Mughal, however, succeed in the dividing there is a Maratha into two rulers comes one under Tarabai and other is surrounded Sambhaji as a son Shahu. The Shahu for a long was is a Mughal court was released and he succeeded in the deposing Tarabai with the help of the Chitavavan Brahman is named to the Balaji Vishwanath. The next year, a challenge of the northern west. Akbar had a way to consider the Kabul, Gyanis, Kuthar is a land to the static frontier, and there is the capture of the Kuthar in 1595. The Kwenadhar in the 1595. During the 17th century, the northern base is a Fontana was the mainly area of activity of the Mughals. Here the Rosanais were to the decisively is defeated by 1625 to 26. But Konadhar became a region of conflict between the Persians and Mughals. After the Akbar's death, the Persians tried to the capture of the Qadhar but fell under Shah Abbas. 1. The Safavis ruler following this Shah Abbas is a one. In a 1620 requested to the Jahangir to hand over to the Qadhar to him, but their letter is a decline to do so. In a 1622, after the another attack, the Qadhar was the captured by the Persians. The under Shah Jahan is a Kandahar only against come into the Mughal hand, but was captured by the Persian in the 1649. The struggle capture of Kandahar is a continually till the RAJASTHAN and resigned to the Mughal got a title success. Shahjahan is a Valkha is a compound to keep a Uzbek is a tribe to under control fell is miserably and the Mughals lost a hug amount of the money and man in the confessed. During the design of AURANGZEB, the Kandahar is the issue was the drop it and diplomatic relation with the Persians were revised. It is a quite and evident that the territory expansion of the Mughal Empire achieved under Akbar continued to be a core of the empire. Its further expansion due to AURANGZEB's reign was the Deccan and in a small measure in the northern east region. And during this is a period the Mughal Empire had to the largest area. However, the beginning of the decline of the Mughal Empire also could be traced to the ruler of Aurangzeb. The breaking up of their association with the potent regional force like a Rajput and falling relationship with the Deccan state of the Marathas shocked the unity of stability of the Mughals Empire. Under this pressure, the empire kept disintegrating.